Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS-inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. This Saturday is a big event in St. Anthony, Indiana. Joining me in the studio is the Fire Chief for the St. Anthony Volunteer Firefighters. That is Scott Uebelhor. Scott, welcome to the show.
Morning, Bill. Thanks for having me.
Well, we are glad that you are here. Now, you have a big event coming up Saturday. And it is how many years have we been doing this event?
Well, we started in 1991, so this will be our 25th year that we've done it as the St. Anthony Firemen's Fest. Last year, we kind of took a little different look. We did it as the St. Anthony 150th celebration, or sesquicentennial. So we're still out there, but we did it in a little different capacity. This year is the Firemen's Fest again.
So we're back to the traditional St. Anthony Volunteer Firemen's Fest.
That's right. Okay. And along the way, we grew into a car, truck, and motorcycle show and more things. So we're more than just a street fest now and a beer garden and food. We've got a lot more activities for everyone.
And to put this on, it takes your firefighters, your volunteer firefighters, but it also takes the community of St. Anthony.
We have 27 firefighters, and the spouses are significant others, so even if that's 54 people, it couldn't touch what we have to do here. So it's so important, and we appreciate so much all the people in the community that pitch in, whether they help us haul tables, they man our booths on the night of the event. They do so many things for us. So, while we're there for them all the time for emergencies, we are also most appreciative when they're there for us in the state of emergency here, because we need help.
Okay, let's talk about the St. Anthony Volunteer Firefighters Fest. What's happening?
Well, as it started in 1991, it was just a beer garden and a food fest. We added the car show, and we've run that for 19 years. So then the Show and Shine Car Show, as it's called, will start at 9 a.m. in the morning. That's when registration begins. We register between 9 and noon, and then from noon to 3, it's the show and also the judging, and people can meander around, look at the cars, and cars, trucks, and motorcycles. It's astounding the rides these people bring in, the pride that these folks put into their vehicles. So it's really a must-see if you're looking for a good event to just kind of browse around, eat and drink and be happy.
This may be is this the first real car show, I guess? When I think of car shows, I always think of St. Anthony first.
Well, I appreciate
maybe
that.
Because it's big, too.
Well, a number of towns. Huntingburg has one, Birdseye has a cruise, and they've had a car show in the past. I believe Schnellville has one. They're all around. Our guys are going to car shows all over the place, passing out our flyers, hoping that people will come to ours from Boonville and Vincennes and a lot of different places. But, we'd like to think ours is special. I know the guys that run it put a lot of time and effort into running it really up straight, that it's the judging is fair and impartial, and everything is done on time. We have great food. A concession stand opens at 9 o'clock, and by 11 we have some chicken dinners, and so there's good food to go along with the car show. And this year for the first year as a Fireman's Fest, but last year as a taste test, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, we'll put it that way.
We brought on a backyard barbecue. Two guys from the St. Anthony Conservation Club brought that out and tried it for the Centennial as a backyard barbecue contest. And we brought it back this year because they did such a great job, and it really fills the day up. We have the cornhole tournament is in there too, so now we have a little bit of something on every corner of the lot. And this backyard barbecue, they light up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Make they have pork chop, they have ribs. They judge in chili, chicken, and pulled pork. It's really a neat thing. You come in and buy a bracelet for $3 to taste chili, or $5 to taste anything. And then starting at 11 o'clock, you can taste the chili, and at noon you can taste all the other things these fine chefs have put together out in their grill areas. And it's kind of neat because it's not a big time grill contest where a lot of money is into these grills. A lot of these guys are backyard guys who just like to take a smoke something and see what they can do with it. So it's a lot of fun. It's really a neat event.
And a lot of these booths will have not just pulled pork to taste, or not just things like that, but they have special foods that they make just for these events.
Right. They may have chicken fingers or something like that, or drumsticks, something of the sort. Any variety of barbecued meat they'll put out there, and so you're free for the cost of that to sample it. And of course, those proceeds come back to the fire department. They're raffling a Green Mountain pellet grill, which is kind of neat. It's thermostatically controlled, feeds the pellets as you want fire. So it's Southern Indiana Hardwoods helped us get that done. So there are a lot of nice things going on. There seems like there's several events going on. Plus we have a lot of kids games. A couple of our people have branched out and taken our kids games and tried to put toss games that are themed after the fire department. So they'll toss into buckets. They're going to ring fire extinguishers. It'll be a nice little thing for the kids. We're trying dodgeball this year for the first time ever. Celestine did it, and we heard good things about that. So we'll have 3 different age groups of dodgeball. And of course, I have to plug the WBC Cornhole Challenge that's out there. They've been such a big part of it. So as that day goes on, there are a lot of things to do, a lot of good things in St. Anthony.
Well, really, you know, I guess for the public to come and enjoy it, anytime around 11 o'clock is a good time to show up at St. Anthony. So you have events that go on throughout the day, and most of those probably ending around 4, 5, 6 o'clock. And then there's more as the evening goes.
That's true. We have a lot of entertainment. We even have a kiddie tractor pull that signs up at 3, and the pulling starts at 3:30. So starting about 4, we serve a large chicken dinner.
As opposed to a small chicken dinner.
Well, they're actually these folks. It's kind of the crew that runs the Bird's Eye, Schnellville, Celestine area, St. Anthony. They really know how to make chicken, and they make Thresher tomatoes, which is a concoction of tomatoes and onions and peppers and everything that's bad for you into one nice big ingredient. It's a special concoction if you've never had it. And we'll have fries, of course, and beans with that, and then we'll have the outdoor beer garden, and we have some really nice entertainment. Boogie Tunes anchors our entertainment because we want to have, when we start at 4 o'clock, there'll be nonstop music from 4 until 1 a.m. the next morning. At 4 o'clock, Boogie Tunes will play. At 6 o'clock, a guy named Troy Miller, and if you've never seen Troy, he's a one-man gang, and he is really a good entertainer. At 8 o'clock, 86th, and interesting on 86th this year, when we did the Centennial in 2014, Thursday night was 86th show. It rained all night long on their show.
Yes.
So we immediately back then said they have to come back, and we have to make them our headliner. So 86th will start again. They'll go from 8 to 11:30, and Buddy and his crew do a great job. They're really an entertaining band. And then when they finish at 11:30, Boogie Tunes will take us to lights out at 1 o'clock.
Sounds like a great time in St. Anthony.
Well, I think we're well organized. You know, we've had 25 years to get this right, and we keep tweaking it a little bit every year. And you know, the outdoor beer garden, it's canned beer, it's cold canned beer, and it's family oriented. We have a lot of family room areas, so you can bring your children into a family area where you can drink some beer and they can enjoy themselves and eating and playing some of the games. So it's very family friendly oriented, and we have a good time with it. We really do.
Well, and in St. Anthony, you know, it's small town, and a lot of times in small towns, parking can be an issue. Not in St. Anthony. You just seem to have a lot of nice parking spots.
Well, we're lucky with a few parking lots. That's
Yeah.
true. The Austin Motor Company lot is available. We have some parking in and around the community center across the street. Uptown as opposed to downtown. We have
There's an uptown and downtown in St. Anthony?
You better believe it. Uptown, there's a Jasper Seating that has some parking. There's the Legion, of course, the church parking lot. We don't have the cornfield that we had last year, unfortunately, but you know, the farmers have to make their money on their corn this year. So you know, we do have some parking. It's safe. You know, the kids games are inside the tennis courts, so they're safe inside a fenced-in area. They're not running around out and about on the street. So it's a good place to get in and feel safe about your kids, so that you're not worried about them, and you can enjoy yourself. And you know, you can come and go as you please. But as you said, the entertainment's after 4. It ramps up into a really neat evening.
So it makes it's like two different events in a way. You've got the barbecue thing that goes, and the cornhole and the kids games, up until the time that the beer garden, chicken dinners, and the entertainment starts. So it's like two great things going on at one time.
That's true. The kids' games will go till about 8, or whenever the kids are tired of playing the kids' games. The kids' games will run, and you know, be little prizes for the kids. But you know, as it started years ago, we put the tables down about noon, 1 o'clock, and we started a show at 4, and we ended at midnight. That was our event in 1991. The car show came along, and we just felt the need as we moved down to the community center from the fire station. I don't know, you're never really satisfied. You know, you want to do something extra, something more. Some of the people in the community stepped up and say, hey, we'll do the kiddie tractor pull, or we'll do the barbecue contest. So we welcome those things in, the car show, and it just kind of blossomed. I'm really kind of excited this year because it's about all we can handle. But it is going to be it's a full-featured day.
It's going to be a great weekend for weather, too.
I think there's just a little chance of rain late, but that never happens to us.
St. Anthony last year was just crazy, the amount of rain. But, you know, it didn't matter. It didn't dampen anybody's spirits. But we're going to have a great time. Now, we do this as a means of making money for the St. Anthony Volunteer Fire Department. Why do you need money?
Well, everything, the red fire trucks, the medical equipment that we need, it ages, it needs to be replaced. We kind of outgrew the existing 5-bay building, which was built in 1972. We added on in 1990, and right now we have 5 truck doors, but we have 6 trucks. So we're borrowing somebody's space downtown, uptown, wherever we can find to put our 67 pickup. And so we need extra space. In our existing bays, we have to pull our 2 fire trucks out in order to have our meetings, then we pull them back in. It isn't safe and appropriate anymore in today's day. You get to the other fire departments around in their training areas, not that they have to be plush, but they need to be conducive to learning. You have to be able to sit there and not hear the ice machine drop ice and the motors running every place. You need to be able to learn, because in the fire service, preparation is number one. You know, we make 75 runs a year, but we prepare far more hours than 75 hours to be ready for that. So we need a good place to train in. So in order for our trucks to be housed and in a better, a safer environment for them, because we have about 4 inches on either side of one of the trucks right now to back it in. So everybody's a little skittish to get that one truck out on Sundays to test it and make sure everything works. So the building will be on adjacent property. It will not be connected other than with a sidewalk. So if people drive by, I know they have been, you can see it coming. It's been slow, as everything is. You come to the ground level and pour the concrete floor. In the next couple of weeks, you'll really see some things happening as the steel starts to go up, and we're really excited about it as a fire department. We're able to do that thanks to this fest, the generosity of the taxpayers. We have a grand raffle here that I probably haven't mentioned yet. There's 160 prizes on there. Over 150 businesses come out and give us something to put on this raffle ticket. It's really astounding. And the people are mailed raffle tickets and they return them. It's a voluntary decision on their part if they want to give or not. It's not a tax. You don't have to do it, but we certainly appreciate all the money we raise off that raffle, because that's by percentage of all the things we do that day, that's the biggest percentage of our income is on that raffle. So if you take the taxes we have and this event, which rather than have a lot of different events, we chose to have one big hootenanny, so to speak. We go one time big and per year, and then the rest of the time we train and do other things. But they build the buildings and buy the trucks, and we haven't had to go out and ask for additional money since 1990. Thanks to these events, because people get begged to death. They get asked for more and more money. So we've been lucky through the generosity. We've been very lucky.
Well, it's also a time that St. Anthony comes together as a community and has a good time.
Well, we found that out. We did this in '89. We did our 125th anniversary celebration of this Quasqui Centennial, and we were doing fish fries at the time and dining dances and things that really weren't a lot of fun. It wasn't a lot of fun really, and we thought that was a good time. What if we would do that as a fire department? Then we didn't know, does that make sense, a fire department hosting a beer fest? And Ferdinand does it as a fireman's ball and it works great for them, and so we took a plunge in '91, and as I said, from there it's grown into something that's really a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's the community really enjoys it. They enjoy pitching in and helping. They enjoy coming in and spending the time in the day. That's our festival. That's the St. Anthony Festival. There is no other festival other than the church social or church picnic. That this is kind of, I think, our signature event for the community.
All right. Well, Scott, good luck with it this weekend, this Saturday.
This Saturday, the 15th. Come out starting at 9, and we'll close the doors at 1 a.m. the next day. And if you really want to come back the next day about 7:30, 8 o'clock, we start cleaning up.
Well, the other thing about it is you can go anytime through the day. The car show, for those that are wanting to enter the show, they just show up. They don't pre-register or anything, right?
They can if they want. Pre-registration is getting pretty tight as we get down the last couple days, but there's a little discount for pre-registration. Okay. But yes, you can show at 9 o'clock. 9 to 12 is registration, and they've never thrown anybody out that came at 12:02. Okay. But ideally, we want to close the registration at noon. The judges start their judging. Everybody's in their positions. We do a good job of parking the cars. So from 9 to 12 is the cars, trucks, and motorcycles come in. We judge from 12 to 3. The award ceremony for that starts at 3 with the raffle winners and eventually the top 60 awards and the special interest awards. So about 3:45, those cards are headed back home. And we kind of transition, as you said earlier, with several different events. The barbecue contest starts to wrap down around 1 o'clock. I think the grills are cleaned up around 3. Mm-hmm. That becomes a parking lot at that point because we need the parking, as you mentioned earlier.
And cornhole should be wrapping up around 3, 4 o'clock.
Cornhole, hopefully we have a good crowd again for that. I think they start tossing at 12 on the cornhole.
Right.
So that's always a good time. So then we transition to the dinners and on we go with an awesome evening.
Well, I'll be there, part of the barbecue contest. I'm looking forward to that. Hope our team wins. So look for me there. Scott, we appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate it, Bill.
Our guest has been Scott Uebelhor. He's the fire chief at St. Anthony Volunteer Firefighters. It is their Firemen's Fest car show, show and shine car show, barbecue cook-off, cornhole, a little bit of everything going on in St. Anthony this Saturday all day long. Hope to see you there. This has been WJTS in Form. We're local people watching local people.